Good morning. This is Theme Week Pride in Camp Coach Joe, and today I want to talk about hurt pride because it can really hamper us in business dealings. For example, you may stop communicating with someone you feel hurt your pride or belittle you. You might lash out in anger. You might recoil and retreat and no longer put yourself out there because you feel upset and embarrassed. But it's easier said than done to get over hurt pride, isn't it? It's not about suppressing it or pretending it's not there. When you're hurt, you're hurt. When you feel less and lessened, you do. So I want to give you some tips on how to get over it fast, or kind of like a system, so that the minute you notice your pride is hurt, you can snap out of it and move on and keep the momentum that you may have in your business. Because the truth is, the bigger you go and the more visible you are, and the more of a public persona you are, the more opportunities to get hurt. Also know that there are some people for whom it's just a thrill. There are trolls. There are people who just hurt to hurt. And it's very important to know how to deal with it for yourself. So tip number one, have you noticed how hard or counterintuitive it is to hurt somebody when you feel good? So you just don't. And that gives you the conclusion that people who hurt or actually hurt you, and hence you might feel like your pride is hurt, they're in pain themselves. So they're in pain. And although that doesn't excuse their actions, it gives you an understanding. So that's number one. So if you know that, then you can look at it a little bit differently and know that it's not personal to you. They're just in pain themselves. And then this is a popular saying, no one can hurt you unless you let them. Maybe so. I really do think that it takes two to tango, and it's not that you just walk around impervious to any assault. But again, if you keep your attention on a good feeling space for yourself, it's much harder to hurt you. It's way harder. And especially your pride, because you can actually take pride in your work and in who you are without having it get hurt. Does that make sense? It might not. So when you let someone hurt you, it probably is because they locked into some kind of insecurity that you have. And if you can get to the bottom of what that is, that it's not likely that they're going to hurt you. Okay? And number three, when we feel wobbly like that, you just want to take a quick inventory into your self-respect, because when we respect ourselves fully, we want to feel good and we seek what feels good, and we can easily and quickly dismiss any influence that will get us hurt. Number four, sometimes when we feel mad at the world or mad at others, we focus on them. More often than not, and again, it takes two to tango, there may be something that you did to cause the situation. Again, my caveat is there really are situations where you did nothing to provoke it, but sometimes in a situation of hurt pride or hurt ego, for sure, there's something we did to elicit this situation. And I do feel that sometimes when we take responsibility for our part, it can rein in the anger a little bit. We are just not as angry as we may have been. Number five, there's a beautiful Buddhist practice that I use all the time called Tonglen. And contrary to other spiritual principles, where you're supposed to breathe in good and breathe out bad, in Tonglen you do the opposite. You breathe in the bad, like anything that hits you and hurts you, and you stay with it for a moment. You stay with it long enough. You stay with the feeling to notice that it also goes away. Usually we run from it and then it kind of chases us like a little demon. When we stay and feel the hit of something, then when you notice that it goes away, it will give birth to an awareness for you how pain really does go away. It doesn't stay, it comes and it goes, thank God, right? It's not constant. So you can be more adept and more facile with the waves of pain when they come and go. And then lastly, and I can't emphasize this a lot, is however you meditate. My husband meditates by listening to music. That's way distracting for me because I will start to sing along or think about the lyrics or something like that. But for some people, it's going out into nature. And for me, it's just sitting quietly, closing my eyes. So meditating and reflecting, however you do it, will slow down your mind long enough to get beyond the hurt and see the lesson, learn what you need from it, and leave it at that. So I hope this helped today. I'll be back tomorrow and would love any feedback you have or any contribution. There might be some other way you know when you got hurt or your pride got damaged that you want to share with people. So thank you so much.